if something does start to go wrong, we're going to fix it.
Come on.
And we're going to make it better.
Come on.
And that's just it. So for anyone who says, and for any channels out there who are sitting there saying comics are dead, shut the hell up.
Yeah,
because you don't know what you're talking about. I don't care whether they're big channels or small channels, but when I hear these people say that, they don't know anything, and they think they do.
That's right.
So take a hike. It's not worth it. Because we are just...
Bueller, everybody.
We are just now living in the... Hey, everyone. Welcome to Comics with Bueller. As always, I'm Bueller. Today is episode 116 of the brand new Coffee and Comic Show. And as you can see, I'm not alone. I got my good friend Bob here with me. Bob, how you doing today?
You know, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm still trying to wake up. So.
I noticed, man. First thing he walks in the door, how you doing? Oh, horrible. Miserable. I'm like, jeez. I can't wait to see Bob again.
Yep, there we go.
Haven't seen him since last week.
Uh-huh.
Shows up, all pissy and everything. This is the episode where we talk about the things we like about comics.
There we go. So I'm waiting for the pick-me-up.
That's our topic, by the way. We're talking about what's best about collecting comics, what we like about collecting comics.
Yep.
Get in the mood, man.
I'm trying to.
Jesus. All right. We start off with the coffee that we're drinking today, and the coffee is brought to you by Mocha Express. Mine actually is not from Mocha Express. I'll tell you more about it in a minute, but what do you have, buddy?
Well, this is from Mocha Express. It is a 24-ounce cold brew with sugar-free vanilla sweetener in it. The sun is out, and my mainstay is back.
Oh, that makes you a little happy.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah.
Tasty.
I'm still waiting on these fancy shirts you keep on talking about.
Hey, man, as soon as I lose the weight, then I'll put them on.
He's got some fancy he showed me some pictures, man. Because everyone always comments about your shirts.
I know.
And then you got some
fancy cool ones coming up. I even got you one just to shut you up, but you didn't shut up. You just spilled the beans right there on camera. Anyway.
What you going to do, right? My coffee is actually something a little different because I decided to treat myself. Mm-hmm. And I went and bought one of those Nespresso machines. Because I've actually already went to Mocha Express today and had coffee with my son earlier. So this is homemade here. This is just regular coffee, but this is from my brand new Nespresso machine. Mm-hmm. Does all the foam and stuff like. It's been sitting here, so the foam kind of died off a little bit. But you know, it's awesome. Mm-hmm. It was a little spendy, and I have a hard time finding the pods because I guess you have to order them through them or whatnot. So I'll have to wait, but I guess their delivery is pretty quick, like within a day or so or something like that. But so far, I've been pretty happy, and I want to thank you guys for kind of helping me treat myself with the response you guys gave to the exclusive comic book. That's kind of what paid for it, to be totally honest.
There you go.
I told you guys it pays for comics and coffee and a chalupa here and there.
There you go.
So it's pretty good.
But this is huge. I mean, you never splurge on yourself, man.
I really don't.
You don't.
I don't. That's the thing people don't realize. I mean, I always thought I'm cheap with everything.
Everything.
I don't. I barely spend money, and a lot of it comes to the fact that for a long time I hardly had any money to spend. So it just kind of rolls on over. When I do have money to spend, it just kind of sits there.
Right.
What are you going to do?
Well, good for you, man.
I'm going to have some coffee real quick. This is my kitty cat mug.
There you go.
It looks like my cat.
It does.
I got this in Florida from the Comic-Con, and I bought it from this guy's booth, and he sold it to me, and he fell over. He tripped over a box, and he really hurt himself.
Oh.
I mean, he was trying to play it off, but you can see the pain in his face. Like, you all right, buddy? Yeah.
Ouch, man. Oh, poor guy.
I'll always remember that when it comes to that cup. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and run down. We got a couple new Patreons. Again, we have Brett Williams. Congratulations. Thank you very much on becoming a Patreon. And Paul Gomez, congratulations for us. I should say congratulations for us, not for them. They're the ones.
But they're on board now.
There you go. That's awesome. So thank you so much to our new Patrons. I think,
like
I said last week, we got a little bit like 70 or something like that. Mm-hmm. If you want to join our Patreon, it's $3.99 a month, the price of one comic book a month. If you think myself and Bob provide value worth just one comic book a month, join our Patreon. Help pay for these coffee pods because they're more expensive, and a comic or something here and there. The lights and the bills and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Appreciate it. So that's pretty cool. But thank you, gentlemen, for doing that. Brett Williams and Paul Gomez. We also had some super chats from last week. I want to give them credit. We had Mike Knight. Thank you so much. We had the Rogue Trader. He's always very generous. And also Thomas Jackman yet again. I think this is like 2 months in a row. He's been giving a super chat. So thank you very much, Thomas.
Thank you. Hey, thank you, everybody.
I think Thomas was the one who mentioned in a comment that he wants to see our fan art collection.
Oh, okay.
And that's something we're going to be working on. But speaking of that, Bob has some artwork here today that he's going to show at the end of the video.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of cool. This is stuff that he's colored.
Adult coloring, that whole thing.
I give him a hard time because he's never showed it. Although the funny thing is, he showed it to me like the second day we met. Mm-hmm. And I've been waiting this whole freaking time.
All right, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. I do want to say that thank you so much for everyone who's bought my Blowtorch #1 variant. We do have some copies left, but like 20. So we've sold over 100 copies so far in 1 week. We only have 20 left. They're very limited. We are going to be shipping outside the United States because a lot of people have asked from overseas or Canada, hey, can I get one? And they are willing to pay the shipping. If that's what they want to do, I'm not going to deny them it, but shipping is a lot of money, obviously.
It is.
If you are from outside the United States and you're willing to pay for the shipping and you want copies of Blowtorch #1, you get both copies, the regular and the black and white, for $25 plus whatever the shipping is. The shipping in the United States is $6. Whatever the Canada and UK or whatever that is, we'll figure that out when we get the books in. We can weigh them and find out how much exactly it is. But anyway, they're still available right now. Just send me an email to buellercomics@gmail.com. Let me know what you like, and I'll send you an invoice. I have sent out all the invoices so far for everyone who's asked for them. For the most part, everyone's paid, but if you haven't paid yet, please pay by the end of the week. That way we can get everything going, because I should be getting them probably middle of next week when they show up, unless they change. But really looking forward to that. So if you have an invoice, haven't paid for it yet, just pay by the end of the week. You have plenty of time. Let's see. We also have a giveaway for this coffee episode as well. We'll show you the giveaway at the end, what you can win. It's kind of cool.
Nice.
It was actually donated to us by a creator. Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. But let's do a quick rundown of the show real fast. We'll start off with our first 5, brought to you by Comic Proline. We'll have our topic, which our topic is the best things about collecting comics, why we enjoy comics, and why you should collect comics if you're thinking about doing it. Mm-hmm. We'll follow that off with the final 5, also brought to you by Comic Proline. We'll have Robbie's pick of the week, and that's an interesting pick, to say the least. We'll do our Was It Good segment. That is back. We both read some books this week. We're caught up a little bit and stuff, and we'll tell you what we thought, and we'll tell you what books we're going to read this week as well. We'll do our random thoughts also. We'll talk about the Falcon and Winter Soldier, and also the big news about Diamond, which we talk about quite a bit on this show. Mm-hmm. And some news broke. You guys are probably aware of it, but they are no longer going to be handling Marvel's account for the most part. And I think that's pretty interesting. So we will talk about that at the end and a few other announcements after that. But after that being the rundown, let's go ahead and get right into it. We'll start with our first 5, brought to you by Comic Proline. And Bob, go ahead and go first, buddy.
Sounds good. Of course, you know me. I'm always going to bring some Daredevil if I can.
Yeah, I know. And Kanto.
And Kanto.
Yeah, that's right. I can see it right over there already.
There's issue #1, which is the Delato cover. Looks like we got some glare going on there.
That's all right.
We got, this was the Daredevil number 612. This is the Paulo Rivera cover.
I'll do the little...
One of my favorites there.
There you go.
And then since...
Vanna White thing here.
My good friend Eric sent this to me. This is one of those Marvel public service announcement issues, and it's Daredevil having to do with gasoline and the handling of gasoline. And then since this week we have some big news in the Daredevil universe. We got Echo has been, looks like they're going to make a series about Echo. I brought the first 2 Echo books. Here's issue #9 of Daredevil. And then, of course, issue #10, both done by David Mack. And there's my first 5.
Very cool. Who's Echo?
Echo is, she's a female character, and she's deaf. Oh. And she had a relationship with Matt, but she's pretty badass.
Interesting.
Yeah, for sure. She's gonna be in the Hawkeye miniseries, and then they're looking at making a series just with her alone.
Interesting.
Pretty cool.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Not a bad first 5.
Thank you.
I got mine right here, and I ran out of bags and boards, so some of them aren't even bagged and boarded.
That's all right.
So
going old school.
They should work okay, and they probably won't have any glare on them because of the bags. I just picked these up. Hotel number 4 of 4. This is the AWA. That's pretty cool right there. Been trying to get these AWA books, and actually I recently I said on the video, I said, hey, if anyone has any AWA titles, let me know. I'm trying to fill the set. We're actually going to be working with AWA. I've actually been in contact with them, and they're going to be sending some stuff our way, and we'll be sending it out. So as far as trying to get more books from you guys to complete my collection, I think I'm good, because I think they kind of stepped up themselves. and they're going to take care of that for me, and we'll have great giveaways from them also. So
Sure.
Looking forward to that. Man's World #1, another AWA title. Want to get those.
Very cool.
The Walking Dead Deluxe #11. I've been trying to get these. I really like that cover quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
And these ones are the ones that we're giving away on the preview video from last week. So if you haven't left a comment on the preview video last week, go do so because you'll win these books. And we'll announce the winner this coming Wednesday. So this is The Joker #1.
That's the John Boy Wire, right?
Yep. And this is Punchline #1. And these ones are courtesy of Bird City Comics. And they have sent us a bunch of books that we're going to be giving away. Like I said, these two are for the preview video that I announced last Wednesday. We'll tell you who wins these on this coming Wednesday's preview video. But like I said, we do have a giveaway for today's show as well. But anyway, that's the first 5.
Great first 5.
Brought to you by Comic Pro Line, our buddy Tony.
How's
down
it going,
there in
Tony?
Florida, doing all that Florida stuff. I don't know what Florida stuff is. But
I don't know either.
Sounds pretty good, right? All right, let's go ahead and get into our topic.
Yeah.
And our topic today is brought to you by BlackboxComics.net. You can go to their website, enter the code Bueller10, save 10% off on Shino. God, the owner of the company actually sent me an email saying, this is how you pronounce it. I still didn't get it. I still didn't understand it. But you know what? I appreciate it. But also the Devil's one as well. And they got another new book coming out pretty soon.
Very cool.
But check out their website. You can get anything off the 10%. Just enter the code Bueller10. But our topic today is why you enjoy collecting comics. What's the best thing about comics?
Yeah.
Last week we did the things we hated about collecting and the pet peeves that we had. It was I really enjoyed reading your comments this week.
Yeah, come on.
I enjoyed all 180 of them so far. And it was awesome because the week before, god damn. I'm sorry. It was like, here's the next one, you know. But, you know, we all really love comics more than we despise them because there is certain instances in comics where, like, yeah, we could do without that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we really enjoy them, and that's what this episode is about. So I will go ahead and read the very first comment here. And this is from Ricardo. It says, the best thing for me is how peaceful the hobby is. Just reading a book or going through your collection is such a satisfying feeling. I agree. I love to grab a book, a cup of coffee, sit on my porch in the back with my little awning out, you know, summer or whatnot, you know, and just sit there and read a comic.
Yeah.
And I just relax and I zone out for that period of time when I'm reading the book, you know, and I've been doing that since I was a kid. Since I was a kid, when I was 6 years old, getting my comic and stopping on the way home, riding my bike, and going out in the field and sitting by a tree and reading my comic.
Yeah.
I didn't realize what relaxing was back then, but I was relaxed, you know, or whatnot.
Sure.
So I totally get it. You know, I think that it is a nice way to just unwind, and you can just sit there. It doesn't matter what kind of book it is. It could be a horror book or whatnot. Even though it's like that, you still kind of get relaxed and peaceful from it because it's your time. You're spending it with that book, pictures and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Do you find that in there? Come on, Bob.
I
Come on, Bob.
I do. I completely agree with what he's saying, with what you're saying. My only lament is that I can't just do it whenever I want. I pretty much have to schedule my time. But when I have my scheduled time, it's my favorite. I love just shutting everything else out, reading a comic book, drinking my coffee, or at night times, maybe sometimes I'll pour a little bourbon. And I'll read a comic book, and it's just like I'm relaxing, enjoying, and
a little bit of booze, huh?
Sometimes.
Nice.
Nothing like it in the world.
Nice.
I still, like, from when I was a kid. Of course, I didn't do the bourbon when I was a kid, but but ever since then, there's a thing, that kind of like a feeling or mode you go into when you start reading a comic, and I'm just expectant and. There's nothing like it.
There you go, man.
Good.
Perfect. I got the next one as well. This one is somewhat similar, but I just wanted to read it. This is from Simply Ian. He said, getting stacks of just read comics, putting them in fresh bags, then organizing them into the correct place in the correct box. So therapeutic. The stories are quite good, too. This
one's hard for me.
Here's the thing. I sit there, I'm like, man, today's the day. Today's the day I'm going to take this stack of books that's been sitting there, bag them and organize them, do all this stuff, you know, and they didn't even touch them.
Right.
And I want to, because he's right. Because when you're all done and they're all in that nice row, and they're all the same bag and board. Because trust me, everyone's collection that I can remember, there was multiple different bags and boards.
Yeah.
And it was just like a zigzag going up and down the box. But when you get that one box,
right,
that they're all exactly the same,
mm-hmm.
Silver Age, Modern Age, whatever they are, and it's just a straight line, it's like, oh, it's a thing of beauty.
It is.
It's a thing of beauty. I don't even mind a long box when that's the case.
Yeah.
Because they do look nice. And you can see that when you go in the shops. Some shops are like that. It's like, ooh, look how pretty these look.
Yeah.
And it is. It's definitely therapeutic, and it's nice. Like I said, these two comments kind of go together. It's relaxing, therapeutic, kind of the same thing. Mm-hmm. But nothing can beat a nice, organized.
This is true.
Short box, long box, of just nice looking bags and boards. That look
when it's
good.
organized.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, I have my short boxes in a rack. You've seen it.
Yeah.
And in order to organize my comics, I got to pull each one out, find where it goes, put it in there. And so I usually let them accumulate, and I set aside a day. And usually that day, just like you, I'll let it go and go and go until I finally do it. But when I do it, it's the best.
Yeah. Here's the thing, man. You get done and they're organized. You're pretty happy. You turn around, you walk off, you come back, and there's a little tab sticking up. It wasn't there before. Nobody's been there. It just magically happened. And it's like, that wasn't there. Nobody's touched these books. But then you get the little butterfly ear sticking out of the bag.
Yeah.
And so you put it down, and you turn around and come back 10 minutes later. Guess what? There's 3 more. It never stops. It never stops.
What is that?
I don't know. It's called 2 pieces of tape.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Too much. All right. I got the next one as well. This is from Smithereens. He says, I've been collecting comics on and off for the last 30 years. My latest return is due to bonding with my teenage son. Every Wednesday, we grab the latest round of comics and get some lunch. It's all about the thrill of the hunt and spending time with him. That's awesome, because I know what he's talking about, and I'm like, my dad's a fisherman. I'm not a fisherman. I know how to fish very well, but I'll go fishing with my dad, not to go fishing. Mm-hmm. I just go there to hang out with my dad. I just want to be there with him. I could care less whether we catch any fish. He loves it, but I just want to hang out with him.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. He's talking about finding common ground with his son to go hang out, and maybe his son doesn't realize how special at the moment is, because you really don't when you're a kid, but as you get older, you remember those instances.
Yep.
And it's like, wow, that was awesome. I got to spend this time with my dad. This is something I want to do with my kids. And it kind of goes in a flow like that. So just having that common bond, whether it's, your own child or a niece or nephew or whoever, that you do something with, even, I'll just put this out there. Me and Sam meet on Wednesdays to go to the comic shop. Mm-hmm. He's been a little flaky as of late, but the last couple of weeks he's been there. It's something we've been doing for over a year.
Yeah.
And it's
a couple years, actually.
Yeah, it's something special. We just meet down there at the comic shop. We get our books. We go have lunch. We hang out for a little bit. It's awesome. We talk about comics. We talk about you.
I bet you do.
Yeah. But we just hang out, and mm-hmm. it's great memories and stuff like that. And I really enjoy it. And comics are better when you have someone to share with.
Absolutely.
So.
For me, with my dad, it was military history. We always had that common ground. We talk about it all the time. But with my sons, we have a number of different things that we connect on. But growing up, going to the comic shops, they were always with me. Yeah. They have their likes. For my oldest son, it's Spawn. For my youngest son, it's The Flash. Yeah. And whenever we go to a comic shop, that's where they go. Yeah. My oldest son likes the big guys too, like Hulk, Juggernaut, anything that has a gigantic guy with strength, he's into it. But we always have a common ground there where we can always talk about it. And it's special times, that we look back on. So I love that comment.
Yeah, even though I didn't, during the time when my kids were younger, I wasn't into comics, we still had our own time together. Going to the park or playing. Playing was a big thing with us.
Huge.
Just going and playing or riding our bikes or going to the ice cream shop or whatever it is, I really wasn't collecting anything back then or into anything. It was just basically just hanging out with them and whatever they wanted to do. Sat through that stupid Yu-Gi-Oh movie. Come on, man. There was a buzz. There was a stupid buzzing thing through the whole thing. I had a headache for 4 days after that.
Oh, my gosh.
But the guy, I remember going to that movie, and this is off topic, but I don't care. But the guy's like, there's something wrong with the audio. And my son's like, I get a free pack of cards if I go here because they're giving it away. I'm like, how bad is it? He looks at me kind of, it's bad. And I go in there, and the whole movie, there's this, the whole time. I'm like, man, this is the worst. I got sick.
Oh,
It was horrible.
that's messed up.
Things you do for your the children, you know.
Just for a pack of cards.
There you go. And I got a pack too. I use a little pack.
There
So.
you go.
Anyway, there you go. All right, Bob, you're up next.
All
Brett Hess
right.
Art.
So, Brett Hess, a good friend of ours.
Yep.
He says, best thing about collecting comics is that it has been a constant in my life since age 10, 42 years ago. It keeps me young at heart, and as an artist, comic book covers have always been an awesome ongoing gallery of art. I can relate with that one.
Yeah. I think it's neat that he's been in it since he was 10 years old.
Yeah.
And here he is, 42, and he's actually he's got his own comic with his own exclusive cover.
Yeah.
know? Or he did the cover for it. I Breed the Body #1. Mm-hmm. And so he's in the industry. I mean, he's published, you know, which is really cool. His artwork is fantastic. But you know what? Growing up as a kid, I always kind of wanted to be in the industry as well. I could draw okay, but you know, not the right way. I don't know if I could ever tell a story, even though I have ideas. I don't know if I would know how to tell a story or whatnot. Luckily, I found my own niche to where I'm kind of in the industry right now in a way I never thought I would be in the industry, and it's a lot of fun. You know, I'm not a creator like the talented people who do the artwork or they do the writing and stuff like that, but I've carved my own little thing.
Yeah.
And it's part of it. It's part of the puzzle, just like, you know, just the collector is part of the puzzle as well. And it's awesome. For something that I've enjoyed since I was a kid, like when he was 10 years old, I was the same way. And here I am, I'm older than he is. Only by a few years. Not by 20 like you. But you know what? It's awesome. I couldn't figure my life being any different than how it is now and how much involved I am with the stuff I do. I mean, it's fun. It's one of the reasons I enjoy comics, because I get to see it from a different perspective now. It's awesome.
That's awesome stuff, man. Come on. All right.
You got the next one also.
Next one comes from Bronze Age Byron. He says, my favorite thing has to be the thrill of the hunt for books in the wild. Sure, eBay makes it easy to grab grails and issues you may want or need, but nothing matches that feeling you get when you find it on your own for a fair non-spec price or even during a dollar bin dive.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A lot of people said that.
Yeah.
A lot of people said they really enjoy the hunt. Do you have like any certain instances where you were looking for books and you found a book and you kind of like, did you peek around? Come on, be honest. Did you really see that? Nobody saw that, right? And you're like, and then you grab it, and then you have that book, and then you take another book and you put it on top of that book. Tell me I'm not. You know what I'm talking about. Just so they know. And then you go up to the counter, and by the time you get to the counter, there's like 4 books on top of that one. And it's strategically placed in the middle. Hopefully they don't notice it or whatnot. Am I right?
You are right.
100% right.
100% right.
I know exactly what you're doing.
The last time that happened to me was the Immortal Hulk #2.
Yeah.
And because that was going up in price, and they just had it out there on the shelf. And that's why I did the same thing also.
I've done it. It's a thing of beauty, man.
Yeah, it is.
You know, some places, you know, like some of our shops around here, they don't care.
Yeah.
You know, Tifa is the one I go to. They care less, so I just stick it right in the front. I don't care. And a lot of times, I do hide it just because other people in the store. And
Yeah.
I know they're looking. That little guy, I know he's looking.
For sure.
He's trying to look, and he's peeking. I see him up there peeking. He's a little dude, so he's having trouble. But I know he's peeking. He's trying to look and stuff. But the hunt is fun, especially when you find something cool, whether it be a book that's worth money or just something you've been looking for.
Yeah.
You know, a story. You know, I always like hunting for books that I haven't read in a row. Like, what was that one? The Planet Hulk. Mm-hmm. I never read that. Man, I found all issues all together at Frankenstein.
Yeah.
That was awesome. They're not worth like a tremendous amount of money, but I was so happy to get them all at once and just go home and read them because I wanted to read that story, you know. And when I find stuff like that, that really makes a difference. So.
Yeah. I'm wondering if Frankenstein will maybe have an event, because now that we can have 50% capacity, maybe they'll just keep a line outside going.
I don't know, man. It gets pretty nuts in there.
I would love it.
They need to do something outside.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, something outside would be kind of cool.
Come on.
But yeah, the hunt was one of the main things that people talked about. And we've done hunting story videos on here in the coffee thing.
Yep.
And those are a lot of fun. Go check it out. We shared, everything from finding, Iron Man #1 to, just the 50-cent book that you've been looking for forever. So,
Absolutely.
Anyway, the hunt is one that sells it. So that's what people are doing right now. They're hunting books.
That's the best thing.
It is.
Especially if you can go to a comic shop.
All right, you got the next one also.
All right, next one comes from Aki. He says, for a great many years, I was addicted to some of the worst drugs and alcohol. Sorry, brother. But despite selling off around 90% of my possessions to fund my addictions, I always managed to keep hold of my comic collection. Due to my chaotic and destructive former lifestyle, I have lost such a lot in my life, including jobs and relationships. But through it all, my comics were constant companions. They never failed to transport me out of whatever awful situation I was in to a better, happier place.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
When I picked the comments, I wanted to read that one because when I saw that, he put it on there. And I'll be honest, there's another one on here that's very somewhat similar. But for you guys to take the moment and the time to actually bear that with us, it goes a long way, and this is not something we take lightly. So when you guys share this with us, we want to share it with our audience. If you're taking the time to do it, we're going to take the time to do it right back.
So I just want to say something. I want to also thank you very much for putting that comment out there. A lot of you know that I'm a pastor, but I also have a very tragic past. I was also into drugs and alcohol. I was homeless for 7 years. And what God has done with my life, I could never, ever repay back. And that's what I do. I do drug and alcohol counseling inside of our church. And it's the passion of my life, seeing people, get up on their own 2 feet and start to walk again and live again. And to hear this brother's story, I feel for you, and I thank you so much for bearing your heart. But thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you came out of what you did, because it's very difficult to do. And so, but again, same thing with me. Comics has always been a part of my life, and always been there to provide a respite, every once in a while. But thank you so much. It resonates with my own story.
It's awesome that his constant is comics.
Yeah,
that's where he finds his peace, in comic books. And for something like these pieces of paper to mean that much to people, that's awesome. Even though your life is just at the moments, what you were talking about, not going the way you wanted it, and just in some bad situations, your go-to thing for peace and enjoyment was comic books. And that's whenever I get into people's arguments about, I collect just because of the value of the comic books, I go, don't just look at the dollar. Don't look at the dollar, because I'm telling you, there's more to these things than just the dollar figure that you see on the paper. Yes, that's there, but trust me, these things mean a lot more to a lot of people that you just might be missing.
Absolutely.
And he found it, and through rough times, they helped him. Now it sounds like things are better for him, and they're still there. So it's a constant reminder that, hey, even though things got bad, this was always there for me during the good and the bad and now. So
absolutely.
Pretty cool.
Aki, thank you very much again, my friend.
All right, I got the next one here. This is from Raymond Olivio, I think. Yeah. It says, my favorite thing about comics is just exploring the new ideas that might eventually be realized on television or film. I'm a film student, and my hobby is screenwriting, and I can see comic books now more than ever serve as a blueprint to live action content. Visual effects are catching up, and so much money is being invested into streaming, WandaVision, for example. Can you imagine the possibilities? I've been collecting since childhood, and my only real interest is really good storytelling, and right now comic books, especially indie comics, are on fire.
Absolutely.
There was more to this comment, but I just wanted to read that part, because he brought up the fact that he loves comics, and now he gets to see them on the big screen. And what we're going to talk about, a little bit later in the show, like Falcon and Winter Soldier. Mm-hmm. I never thought there'd be a Falcon and Winter Soldier television show.
No.
Did you ever think there was going to be a television show about Wanda and Vision?
No. I mean, even hearing my aunt say the word Thanos.
Yeah.
What world do I live in that actually happened?
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy gets their own movies. And
Never.
They're a huge success. They weren't a big title.
No.
They weren't. Even Iron Man was a C-list character at the time, or a B-list. I don't know. I'll go C, but he wasn't one of their main, Marvel's main properties. Not compared to the other ones. I don't want to take anything away from Iron Man, but he wasn't a household name like Hulk or Spider-Man. And look what Iron Man did. It launched the whole universe and stuff like that. So we live in a time where all these stories that we read, whether it be an independent title or a Spider-Man or a Batman, we get to enjoy them on the big screen, on the small screen, on our phones, on our tablets, all that stuff. And they look, I'm thinking, my first thing that popped in my head, man, remember watching that screen test for that Fantastic Four movie that never came out? That looked like garbage.
Right.
Now look at that.
Right.
Now look at Endgame. Look at Infinity War. It's just incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. The technology has caught up. They can tell these stories. It doesn't matter what stories they are. They can tell anything they want. And it looks amazing and phenomenal. And for the most part, especially Marvel, they're picking the right people to do it. They're picking the right actors that fit the role. And I think that goes a long way. If you get an actor that doesn't fit playing Captain America, like the goofy guy, the agent. Although he wasn't bad in this last episode.
No, he was all right.
But you know what I'm saying, man? These people fit.
Yeah.
And I watched Chris Evans play Captain America. And I remember reading Captain America 350 when I was a younger kid. And that's my Captain America. Mm-hmm. That's the guy I remember reading. And here's the guy on the big screen.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool, man. Even, like you said, the indie stuff, all the indie titles that they're working on right now. Are you guys watching that Resident Alien show on Sci-Fi? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a comic book. I didn't even realize it for a little while. I was like, oh, okay, that's what that is. There's half the shows that are being made are based on comic books.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of people don't realize that, but that's just the case.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's pretty cool. So,
when we were kids, I know you probably did the same thing that I did, with to dream of this stuff being on screen. Mm-hmm. And, there's a couple of things that have happened that I never thought that I would see in my lifetime. Just like in the WandaVision episode, how much the comic book, even an Android Can Cry, meant to me. Now, they can't do that story. They went a whole different way with Vision, but they found a way to call back to that tier, and it wrecked me. That type of stuff, thank you so much. Here's my money. Because I just love it.
Still waiting for a Punisher movie, a good one.
I think John Bernthal did a great job.
No, he did. I liked it.
But
I liked the TV show. I want a movie. A Punisher movie.
Yeah.
I want a standalone, just Punisher movie, not something I got to watch for like 10 weeks. I just want a nice. They've already done 3 of them.
Yeah.
And each one of them had their bright spots, but a lot of them had their down spots.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe someday.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen movies that are basically a Punisher story.
Right.
And if you just popped in the character Punisher, it'd be perfect.
Yeah.
So it's doable. All right, Bob, you got the next one here.
All right, so the next one comes from the Comic Novice. He says, what makes comics so special to me is what they have done to me on a personal level. Just about 2 years ago, I was very depressed, suicidal, losing all interest in my hobbies that brought me joy. I stumbled upon a comic discussion on video, watched more, started collecting, and comics gave me something to look forward to during the darkest time of my life. I've gotten the help that I need, but I owe the comic hobby as something that helped save my life. Sorry for the downer, Bueller. It probably won't make the show, but I thank you and Bob for creating great content and helping me feel a part of something special too. Man, you're gonna wreck me, bro.
I didn't mean to give you the really sentimental one. But there's only 2 more comments left, so let's get through this one.
All right.
I want to say the Comic Novice. He said he wanted to thank us for doing the content and stuff like that. I can somewhat relate to what he says in here. Now, I wasn't to the point of having those type of thoughts, but I was at the point in my life where, nothing was going on, and it's just nothing in my. Every day is exactly the same. I don't know what I'm doing or nothing like that, and really I don't see anything changing within years. And I'm just going to sit on my couch and I'm going to play this game for the next 20 years. Until, they dig my grave or whatever it is. And I found solace in getting back in the comic book hobby. And I've said it before, it changed my life and it saved my life.
Yeah.
because I don't want to be sitting on the couch. I mean, although I do like sitting on the couch. I play my game quite a bit.
Right.
But, I have something to do. I have something to wake up for in the morning and to concentrate on. And it's comics and sharing my passion of comics with you guys watching, with the thousands of people that watch us every day. I mean, we average like 6,000 people watch us a day. Okay, if you do the numbers, that's how many times people are watching our videos every day. So 6,000 people watch our videos every single day of the year, and just add that all up, it's just nuts. The thing that tomorrow another 6,000 people are going to watch, and the number just keeps growing. By the way, it doesn't go down. It goes up. People enjoy what we're doing. Just like he said, the comic novice, he finds it. I get a lot of comments about you and myself, and just being like the two most genuine guys that there are. And
thank you.
It's weird. I don't know how to say it right. I mean, because it's just who I want to be and who I want to. I'm not trying to portray nothing. This is the person I want to be, and I want to share the hobby, and I want to make it good. I want to be good. I want to do something good with my life. I want it to be positive. I don't want to sit there and try to, push something down your throat or whatnot if I don't believe it. I get hit up all the time for like promotional deals and offers. That manscaping thing where I had to shave your balls. How many times they send me a thing to try to get the ball shaving thing?
Right.
I'm not shaving my balls.
You guys hear that, but
you guys have seen the ads on YouTube and stuff,
right?
Nope. That day has come and gone, my friend. How do I work that into a conversation?
There you go.
I can only think of like we're talking about the thing or something like that,
Right. No, ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen.
What was this? That's good. All right.
But I know what you mean about wanting to show your best in something, and I just want to say that doesn't mean you're trying to be different than you are. You are no different on this show than you are when we get together and hang out. You're just being you. And I think that's what people are keying into is the genuineness, that we portray on screen. Because we're not trying to be something that we're not. Yeah. We're telling it like it is, and we're trying to do our best, to bring something to the hobby. And I love that about you. I love that people have been able to key into that. And so thank you guys very much.
What are you going to do, right?
What are you going to do?
There you go. All right, here's the next one here. This is from J.R. Claridad. Said, what I love about collecting comics is reading the stories. Mm-hmm. I love reading comics. I don't read books or novels because I find them boring. And as a doctor, I love that part. As a doctor, I've had enough with books. LOL. I also love the art. I love owning a piece of history, and sometimes, when I'm lucky, I own a valuable collectible, which I won't sell. I like how he put the valuable thing at the end. Yeah. And he pointed out the story and the artwork first, and then if it happens to be valuable, that's cool too. Right. Very similar to the way I look at it.
Yeah, I mean, Brett Hess said it a little bit earlier. He's got an ongoing collection of cover art that's, part of his gallery. Yeah. And I think that, when you look at this in the hobby, you collect something, it doesn't have to be valuable. Yeah. Just this week, there was a Venom book that came out that had the pose of Muhammad Ali when he was standing over Sonny Liston. Cool. I'm getting that book just because I don't care if it ever explodes in price. I love that cover, and that will be in my collection. I mean, as long as I'm alive, because all of a sudden comics and boxing coming together, I'm on board.
You love those.
I do.
What about the wrestling ones? Have you seen those ones?
I haven't. If I have, I probably haven't keyed into them.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
But when the Muhammad Ali one is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I saw that. I was like, ooh, nice.
Absolutely.
Were you in line? We're like.
I was. They were actually late.
Clicking that button. Come on.
But I got mine. I got mine. It was fun.
That's good.
I know.
All right, you got the last one, Bob.
All right. This one
comes... And this one, you'll be all right.
All right. Thank you. This one comes from my good friend John Thomas. John Thomas, love you, man. He says, social media, it's often viewed in negative light, but for the comic book community, I feel has been a huge plus. The fact that we have so many great shows and channels devoted to the hobby, not to mention friendships that have blossomed through chat rooms and live streams. A lot of truly wonderful human beings in this community, and I consider myself blessed to be amongst everyone. Thank you.
It's awesome.
It is.
It's growing daily. There's more and more people jumping on YouTube, making shows and doing videos and stuff like that. And every day there's somebody new. And not to mention just people in the chat. The people watching right now just talking in the chat, saying hello to everyone, or saying station to everyone. Mm-hmm. They're making friends. Right now, you're in the chat. If you're watching this live, you are making friends with the people in there because everyone says, hello, good morning. Have some coffee or whatever it is. And then a week later, you guys are doing a show together.
Yep.
Herminio is doing a show with Sam, or Travis M has got his own channel now.
Right.
He's doing a show with some other people and stuff like that. I don't even know. If you're doing a channel, if I don't know, please tell me, because right now it's hard to keep track.
It is.
Because there is stuff popping up daily.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that for a long time. The community is growing, and it's awesome to share this. And this is, my opinions are changing daily. When I hear people talk about, like, comics are dead or a crash, it ain't happening.
No.
This thing is on the verge of just going nuts. And, like, the people finding this enjoyment in comics. I went to Target yesterday when I bought my thing. And I went to their movie section, okay? Their movie section was 1 row, but their book section was 6. All right? Paper books was 6 rows. Movies were 1. DVDs, Blu-rays were 1. The print form ain't going nowhere.
No, it ain't.
Ain't going nowhere. And it's just going to get better. It's just going to, more and more people are going to enjoy this. And more people are going to be educated about collecting their books and enjoy their stories and their artwork. And maybe if they're worth some money down the road, just like John just said, that's just a plus.
Yeah.
It's just getting started. And it's pretty awesome, man.
It is. It is. I think there's 2 things in what he's saying here. First of all, I've mentioned this before. I think in comic book history, I think they're going to look back on these last 5 years, maybe the next 5 years going forward, as the social media influence on comics. You can't refute the fact that it is influencing how people buy, and it's made the industry flourish. And so, we're a part of history. And I don't think you're going to be able to refute that, years down the road. This is a special time, and we're a part of that. Second thing is that this has given people a chance to find the tribe. This is our tribe, talking to you guys in the chat or being on some of the channels, us getting together, finding the Portland Comics crew. We're finding our tribe, and the relationships that I've made inside of just what we've been doing on YouTube in this community has blown me away. You guys, the outpouring of people who sent me well wishes and all the touching comments from the video last week because of what happened with my friend. I can't tell you how much that touched my heart. I was overwhelmed, with emotion, with all the outpouring that you guys gave me. That's the type of community this is. Yeah. And so John Thomas hit it on the head. I'm glad to be a part of it. I know you are. Yeah. And thank you guys so much for letting us into your lives, but also we love being a part of yours as well. So thanks.
Whatever happens in comics, this is the big difference right now. Whatever happens in comics, whether something goes bad or a different distributor comes up or whatever it is, we're not going to go through it alone anymore. Okay? In the 90s, we went through it by ourselves. The comic crash was it. There was no social media. There's nobody talking about it. Right. Just I went to my store and they closed. Boom. Now, if something were to happen, something like that, you're going to hear about it. Yeah. We are together. This is a team. This is a tribe of people that if something does start to go wrong, we're going to fix it.
Come on.
And we're going to make it better.
Come on.
And that's just it. So for anyone who says, and for any channels out there who are sitting there saying comics are dead, shut the hell up. Yeah, because you don't know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. I don't care whether they're big channels or small channels, but when I hear these people say that, they don't know anything, and they think they do.
That's right.
So take a hike. It's not worth it. Because we are just...
Bueller, everybody.
We are just now living in the golden age of comics.
Absolutely.
I know that makes sense.
Whatever it is.
All right, man. Let's see. That was our topic. That was
great topic.
I mean, it's fun.
Thanks for making me cry again.
I didn't mean that. I felt bad because he walked in and he's like, I'm not in a very good mood. I'm like, oh, man. I already had the comments picked out. He's like, I'm just, he's just kind of nothing really going on or whatever. So there you go. But you're happier now. You look spry. You should go run a marathon or something.
There you go.
All right, let's go to our final five.
All
brought to
right.
you by Comic Pro Line. You know what? Why don't you go first this time?
All right. So you guys know how much I love Kanto.
Yeah, we know.
But here's some books I've never brought before. Here is the, I think it's the third print of the first book, which is an exclusive.
Nice.
And then here's issue number 4. I forget which print this is, but I love that cover.
Trying to get the nice.
And then this is issue number 3 of the first series. I don't think I've ever brought that one.
Nice, look at that.
Now, I brought the shiny cover of this, but this is the same cover that's not shiny. I've never brought that one before. I love that. The homage to ASM 300.
Pretty.
And then just the regular cover of Kanto 2 and the Hollow Men, issue number 4.
Wow.
Which I really dig. So there's my final
that's
5.
Some Kanto goodness.
Kanto goodness, my friend.
Yeah. All right. Enough of Kanto. Hey, kitty cat. The cat's just freaking out. She might be bumping the camera. I don't know what's going on.
I just bumped it.
All right, that's all right. Okay, so I got my 5 right here. And I actually just got on board on this series. This is Space Bastards.
I wanted to read it.
Yeah, so I got number 1, 2, and 3. This is number 3. Like I said, I still don't have any bags of board, so it's on the bag of board. And then these ones were sent to me from the creator, and this is the Edge comic book. And actually, I'll be reviewing that here in just a few minutes.
Nice.
But he sent me 4 books, and they're connecting covers. I got them out of order, but they're actually the connect and stuff like that. And he autographed each one for me. So this is all number 1. I think this is the main one. This is called The Edge. This is by the Second Sight Publishing. These are the people that are doing my exclusive. So anyway, if you put all these together, and he actually sent me a poster. It has them all together. So I figured out it was like a puzzle piece. But very cool. Thank you very much. I believe his name is Marvin. Marvin? Yeah, that's Marvin. Yeah, sometimes he's in the chat. So.
Oh, Sue, that's sweet.
But he's the writer and creator and stuff like that. He's a nice guy and stuff. And he's actually the one who sent some stuff that we're going to be giving away. And we'll talk about that here in a few minutes.
Very cool.
But those are my final 5. Brought to you by Comic Pro Line. Go to Comic Pro Line. The link is down below. Enter the code for Tony's thing so you can get credit for it. But they got bags, boards, boxes, you name it. I need some bags of boards.
I do too.
So, there you go. All righty, let's see. Let's go ahead and move on to our buddy. And we're going to go to Robbie's Pick of the Week.
Hey everybody, I'm Rockin' Robbie Billups from Pop Culture Philosophers. Just enjoying some cold brew coffee and a Spycore Masters of the Universe action figure. I hope you're enjoying your morning and your show. And my Pick of the Week is...
Haha, number 3 from Image Comics. And I've been loving this series so far. When it comes to Robbie's pick, you can never go wrong with whatever Robbie picks. This, for me personally, I didn't like this one as much as I did the previous 2 issues, but that's just me.
There's no words in it.
There's no words in it.
There's like beeps and boops.
Yeah, beeps and boops.
You got a little mime and a robot and a little girl.
Right. That's it.
Robbie loved it. Compared to everything else that came out this week, that was his pick. Robbie, you're wrong. Great book, don't get me wrong. But come on, dude. Come on, man. Shadow Doctor? Come on, that was awesome.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Anyway, go to Robbie's channel, his wrong picks of the week. And you can find those. Still a good book. Not the best of the week, though. But you know what? We all have different... Maybe he just was looking for something light.
Right, right.
3 words in it and stuff because he reads so much.
For sure. Well, he sees into things sometimes that I don't. So
Imagine
I appreciate
how long it took him to read that book. Because, I mean, he reads really fast. That took him 3 seconds.
Yeah, it was probably a reprieve. He's like grateful for it.
Yeah,
That's why it was pick of the week.
There you go. Anyway, number 3. Go check out Pop Culture Philosophers. It's a featured channel. And, dude, they're like just a handful of subscribers away from 10,000.
Yeah.
If you're not subscribed to Robbie's channel, go do it right now. It's a featured channel on my homepage, like I said. And help him get to a 10,000. I mean, he's literally like, I don't know, maybe 20 away, 30, 40, or something like that. It's just a few. So a few dozen.
I think he's going to be interviewing Dan Waters this week, too. I can't wait for that.
He's had some great interviews lately.
Yeah.
So very nice. All right, let's go ahead and switch up to our returning segment. And we're going to go with Was It Good?
Was it good?
With Bueller and Bob, or Bob and Bueller. And you know what? This is a fun. We talk about the books we read last week. We tell you what we thought about them, and we'll tell you what we're going to read next week. Mm-hmm. So Bob doesn't have his books with him.
I don't.
So, but I'm going to put out a digital image and a pop-up right here because I can do that type of thing.
There we go.
And Bob, let me see here. You have Detective Comics number 1034. Mm-hmm. Bob, was it good?
It was good.
All right.
It was good. It was, to me, it was the best DC book that came out this week. I really enjoyed the story. Loved the artwork, the coloring. coloring inside of it was amazing, and really enjoyed it.
Nice. So is this better than Tynion's Batman? Do you have a preference between the two?
Well, I mean, I love what Tynion is doing with Batman. This is a little bit different than that series. Of course, this is starting new because the last Batman, I forget, or detective, I can't forget who was on it, but with what they're doing inside of this book, it's kind of continuing with the Tynion stuff. Straight from the Joker War, but I'm digging it.
Nice.
I'm digging it.
All right, we got another one here. We have Alien #1 by Marvel Comics. Bob, was it good?
It was okay.
I read this one too.
Yeah. I mean, for the first outing, I think I enjoyed it more than I thought that I was going to, because I really not liked a lot of the stuff that they were bringing out in the end for Alien and stuff. But for the Marvel Comics first, coming out, I thought it was great. I mean, they're kind of playing on the timeline from the movies.
Yeah.
It's like I think it's right after Aliens.
Yeah.
And not. I think even Robbie said it wasn't even as far as Alien 3. But I enjoyed the setup and the familiarity of it, and I liked it. It was all right.
I enjoyed it. I thought the artwork was pretty good as well, and it kind of painted a clear story. By the end of it, I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
By the end of it, I know the dude's son is trapped on there, and then the dude is going to have to go save his son.
Yep.
And it's pretty straightforward. They introduce you to the characters, and they point you where the story's going to go. And I'm pretty sure that's where it goes.
Absolutely.
So I like that. It was pretty easy to get going. I'm excited to see what they do with the Predator and Alien license for Marvel, because really, I wouldn't mind seeing an alien invasion of Earth or something like, or Predator or something like that, or Predator against Wolverine or something like that.
Oh man, do a whole X-Men thing, get rid of the Brood and have them go against the aliens.
I think that'd be awesome. So I'm hoping that they do. I think that'd be great.
I think it'd be cool.
All right, last one you read was Once in Future #17 by Boom. Bob, was it good?
It was phenomenal. Yes, it was really good. This is one of my favorite books every month. Again, Dan Moore's artwork, Tamara Bonneville's coloring, Karen Gillan's writing. It's amazing. This time we got to see a little more of Lancelot and Galahad together, which I thought was pretty cool. The dragon that they do inside of this, phenomenal. I do like dragons, and so I loved it.
Yeah, you got Peach Dragon.
I love Peach Dragon.
Yeah, nice.
I love James and the Giant Peach too.
Peach? Yeah. Peach is the dragons?
Yeah.
My.
There we go.
All right. That's awesome, man. Those some decent books and whatnot. All right, man. I guess I'm up.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Let me look at my notes here. So the first one that you... right here.
Yeah, there. I have them.
So the first one you have here is Year Zero, Volume 2, Number 5.
Yep.
Bueller. Was it good?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. This is the last one for the volume 2, and if you're not familiar with this is actually like 3 or 4 different stories of people during like a zombie apocalypse, and they don't really intersect with each other, so they're very different from one another. There's like this rich guy or whatnot. There's this people living in like a shopping mall. There's another people on a ship and stuff like that. I've enjoyed this from day one when the first volume came out. So this one was just more of the same. I'm hoping they do a volume 3 because I like zombie stuff.
Yeah,
I just like the way they tell it, to where it's like there's smaller stories. You get a bit of them in each issue and wraps them all up at the very end. And sometimes it's tragic. Sometimes it's they give birth to a zombie baby, or maybe it's not a zombie baby, but it'll probably end up being a zombie baby.
Right.
So I liked it.
I hopped off of it after Volume 1
Yeah.
Because it looked like Volume 2 was just going to be the same thing.
Yeah.
And so does it further the zombie apocalypse at this point? Because the first one was kind of like the beginning of the apocalypse.
Yeah, they're full blown.
Okay.
They're full blown in the zombie. In the issue 1, I mean, they're like, trying to survive, and they've been held up for a while. The little introduction to them, the people, but it's like a flashback.
Right.
And then they're right there. So
interesting. Very cool. All right. So for your next one, we have Shadow Doctor #2 from Aftershock Comics. Bueller.
Yes.
Was it good?
This was my pick of the week.
Yeah.
The first one was also my pick of the week. The story is this is a true story about the writer's grandfather, who African American, back in Prohibition and stuff, Al Capone and stuff like that. He goes to school, becomes a doctor, goes to the city, wants to become a doctor. No hospital will hire him. He can't get a loan to be his own practice or whatnot. So he goes to Al Capone, who he had a history with, because before, when he was younger, he was doing some bad things or whatnot, and Al Capone kind of, in this one, he kind of jumpstarts his career or whatnot. At first he says no, he's not going to help him or whatnot, because you don't want to owe me money, because he's Al Capone. And I thought that was pretty cool. But by the end, he's like, I'm not going to give you any money, or I'm not going to loan you any money, I'm just going to give it to you. And he's kind of giving it to him because he kind of feels like, hey, my man will probably need a doctor at some point. So that's kind of what I got from this book. And then at the end, there's a big explosion and stuff, and you don't know what's going on. It's kind of the ending of number 2. But just the fact that it's a true story of a gentleman who didn't share any of this stuff until he was like on his deathbed with his son. And now it's being told by the grandson about what happened. I think it's amazing. I just love it. I absolutely love this book.
Yeah.
And if you're not on this one, go get it. It's worth it. First one was great. The second one, awesome. And it puts you in that time, back in the Prohibition, and they're like all these guys and the kind of different points of view from Al Capone, and how he kind of feels as though, even though he was a criminal, he kind of felt as though he was like a Robin Hood. Yeah. You kind of get a little bit of that, hey, what I do for the people as well. We all know how that turned out, but whatever. I thought it was great. Just awesome. Looking forward to number 3.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an amazing series. I've loved every minute of it. Very heartfelt. Yeah. And if you go pick up the first 2 copies and get on board with it, because it's amazing. It's also my pick of the week. Yeah. All right, so for the next one, we have The Edge from Second Sight Publishing. Of course, we talked about them last week. Yep. And so, Bueller, was it good?
Yeah, I liked it. So I've had this book for a while, but it just now came out on retail shelves. Mm-hmm. So I got this back in December, and I actually read it back then. I reread it a little bit ago just to get caught up with it and stuff. But it's now in shops, so they just now got put out their first 3 issues of their different books. I enjoy it, and it's about a superhero team that's kind of going after this one guy he's all jacked up, pretty much.
On coffee?
On more than just coffee.
Just kidding.
But, in this one, it ends in this book, in the ending, you might have lost half the team already.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. It's kind of a unique thing for it. I don't know, because I haven't seen issue, even though I've had this since December. I haven't read number 2, so maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I don't know. But I thought it was good. It kind of has the art style, a little bit anime, a little touch of anime, similar to, what was that one? 7 Secrets. Okay. Very similar to that color scheme and that kind of that art style as well. And a little too. I'm not a fan of anime, but I like a little bit, and it kind of the balance of it was pretty good. Yeah. So I really liked this book quite a bit. And I'm looking forward to reading more. Like I said, this is the same one that I had the 4 different connecting covers. Mm-hmm. And the gentleman sent us some stuff for the giveaway.
Very cool.
Well, it's pretty good. So that's what I read. So
there you go.
But what are you going to read next week?
Okay, so next week, got my notes here. I'm going to read Beta Ray Bill number 1. Nice. Coming out. And then haven't had this on the shelf for a while, but Decorum number 7 from Image Comics.
It's a thick book this week, too.
That's all right. And then the last one, I wanted to throw this on there because I enjoyed the first one. We'll see where the second one goes, but Two Moons number 2.
That's a werewolf.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to be reading the Avengers Curse of the, what is that, Man-Thing? Man-Thing. Man-Thing number 1. Spawn number 316. I've been really enjoying that. And also Nuclear Family number 2 by Aftershock comes out. Really enjoyed the first one.
Great book.
Curious to see where number 2 is, because the first one left you on a cliffhanger. Mm-hmm. You didn't really know what they were going to do. So really looking forward to number 2. But that's what I'll be reading. Among others, there's a bunch of other books coming out I'm looking forward to. Department of Truth number 7 comes out. Spoiler, same artwork as last time.
Yeah, this is true.
Just letting you guys know. And some other different books as well. But going to be a pretty good week. So there you go. That's our Was It Good segment, brought to you by, let's just say, Scout Comics.
Scout Comics.
You go to Scout Comics and enter code Bueller, save 10%. There you go.
There you go.
Should have had a Scout book on here. They didn't have the recount. I didn't get it. It was supposed to be in my box, and guess what? It wasn't there.
Oh.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
All right, let's go to our next segment, and this is our Random Thoughts with Bob and me, Bueller.
Come on.
So we're going to go ahead and hit on Falcon and Winter Soldier a little bit. Episode 2 aired just the other night. And I'm pretty sure you watched it. Right?
I did.
Because that wouldn't make any sense. Full spoilers, just so you guys know. But what was your initial thoughts?
I liked it. I mean, it continued right in the same vein as the first one, which I was really appreciative of. It slowed down just a little bit from the first one, but I love the action. I love the fleshing out between Sam and Bucky. I also love that they, with the U.S. agent, we got to know him a little bit more.
Yeah.
We also got to see, in the comics, the guy that plays... Battlestar. He's in the comic books. He's like Bucky number 6 or something like that. Yeah. So that was kind of cool to see that they're fleshing that out a little bit. But really, when it comes down to it, some of those action scenes blew me away. The velocity changes that they used with Falcon in those action scenes, I thought was just amazing. Yeah. And so I love where they're going with it.
Yeah, I thought it was great too. I'm really liking it. I love that they're interacting with each other. Mm-hmm. That's we didn't get that in the first episode, but in the second one they're pretty much together the whole time from the very beginning. And they're like, "Why'd you give your shield away?" Mm-hmm. He's all pissed off and stuff like that. And what are you gonna do about that? I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I thought the characters were great. I don't know the new U.S. agent guy. He doesn't have superpowers. He hasn't been injected with the serum or nothing like that yet. I think that comes because I think he kind of goes bad eventually.
Well, with the Flag Smashers having 8 different super soldiers, I mean, it's pretty much a given that he's going to probably try to go that direction. Yeah. So. And he obviously knows how to use the shield. There was a couple of parts there where he was, popping it back towards himself.
He's been training.
Yeah, but I think for me, the best thing about that show, I look for the heartfelt moments. Yeah. And that scene where they're with the shrink in the room, and he basically said, the reason why he's pissed off is because, Cap gave you that shield because he saw something in you, and if he was wrong, that means he's wrong about me. Yeah. That really hit home. Yeah. And that's the type of stuff I look for in the MCU.
Yeah, I hate that part.
Did you? No. I loved it.
we should look at each other.
I know, huh? Who wouldn't stare down?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, it's a fun show. It's great. And I've timed it. They're only 36 minutes long. They're 42 minutes. Is when I looked at the timer, there was 6 minutes left with a 42-minute show. So we're only getting 36-minute episodes. Yeah. I wish they were a little bit longer. They could be. No problem.
Definitely could be.
But yeah, I mean, I think that I don't hear. The nice thing is I'm not hearing the speculation like I did with WandaVision, and they're almost halfway done because there's only 6 episodes of this. Yeah. So I'm not hearing who were they talking to or all this stuff. You're pretty much straightforward the story. You kind of know what's going on. You'll find out more as we get closer to the end, but they're already into the action part. They're already doing stuff, and it's good. It's good television.
It really is.
So, all right. The next big thing, and this is kind of some brand new news. And like I said, we're not going to go too deep on this because it might be something that we do a whole show on as more time comes by. Mm-hmm. But Marvel has decided to not use Diamond as their distributor anymore of comics. Mm-hmm. Something similar to what DC did last year at pretty much towards the beginning or right after the pandemic started. Well, now Marvel is going with the Penguin, which is the ones that put out their graphic novels, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. And so they're not the only one. Boom is using them as well. I think there's some other publishers on board for using the Penguin or whatnot. And I don't know the full name. I just know it's Penguin Publishing or something. But what was you sent me an email?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, look at this.
Yeah, huge news. I mean, a couple of weeks ago we got the news that Scout was going to go with Lunar, which I thought was huge news because that paves the way for independents not to have to rely upon Diamond anymore. Yeah.
But it's really hard for independents to get on board on Diamond too.
It really is.
It really has been. So
and so that right there was huge news. But this breaks everything wide open. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. You can still get Marvel Comics through Diamond. Yeah. But Diamond has to pay wholesale now with them. Yeah. And so, what this does to the industry is going to be very interesting to see over the next year. Yeah. And so, I can only give a bunch of different scenarios. Yeah. So I'm not going to go too deep into it. But I'm really thinking that this has the possibility of breaking things open in such a way that we may get, comics in different places than we ever have before the last 20, 30 years.
Yeah. Now, Penguin is huge, by the way. I just want you guys to know they're not like some random publishing company. They're huge.
Huge.
And Marvel isn't even their biggest account.
Nope.
I mean, it's like maybe in the top 10, but probably not, to be totally honest, as opposed to Marvel being the main account for Diamond. Now, here's my initial thoughts. And we talked about Diamond last week, and we'll talk about it many times. Diamond was... Marvel is Coke. DC is Pepsi. You can go without Pepsi. Or you can go without Coke. But you can't go without Coke and Pepsi. So with one leaves, you still got Coke. Or you got Pepsi. Mm-hmm. But if you don't have either one of those, you're done.
You're done.
You're done. And they don't have either one. Like you said, they do wholesale, but you can get wholesale anywhere.
That's right.
You know, any place or whatnot. But that's it. That's it. There isn't another. There isn't someone else to walk in the door and say, "Hey, can you handle our books?" That has the amount that DC or Marvel does, or even close. You can live without one, but you can't live without both. It's the writing's on the wall.
I think so too.
It was already on the wall a little bit, losing DC or Pepsi. Okay, I hope you guys appreciate this analogy. But you take away Marvel, Coke, even the colors kind of go together,
right?
You know, that's it. You just can't. McDonald's can't offer root beer, you know, and not have Coca-Cola or Pepsi or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't work. So, sorry, Diamond.
We'll see how this plays out.
Yeah.
We really will. Yeah. I mean, I there's parts of it that I'm looking forward to. There's parts of it, you know, that I told you before I was dreading that this would happen. But it looks like our comic industry is going to be just fine.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
It's huge.
And
also the standards of Penguin are much higher, and it'll force Marvel to be on time to do all this stuff because they don't. Penguin is more professional. I've done a little bit of research on them. They really are, to where Diamond is kind of run a little bit of more of a mom and pop type thing. I'm not saying they're not professional, but proof's in the pudding.
How much damages do we get every week?
The DC didn't leave just because. They left because of reasons. Marvel didn't leave just because. They left because of reasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and not to mention the Penguin offers free shipping. So free shipping is that's what their model is for what they do now.
It's huge.
So
that's huge.
I don't know. I mean, I thought when I saw it, I was like, I wasn't surprised. You know, because I knew once the contract come up, it's going to be in the play again, because that's what happened with DC. They had an out and they used it. You know, the opportunity came and they used it because they could. Same thing with Marvel. Once the contract comes out or there was an out clause, they used it because they saw the same thing DC saw.
Of course.
DC, like I said, DC didn't just, this is what we're going to do. They saw the problems. They weren't being fixed. They're still not fixed. They're worse. And Marvel's like, I ain't sticking around.
Yeah.
We're going to go over here.
Well, I think that the pandemic may have been the best thing that ever happened to the comic industry. We'll see how that plays out. Yeah. But if the pandemic wouldn't have happened and they wouldn't have pulled back those payments coming back to the, you know, to their, you know, the comics, the companies that they work with, I don't know if we would have been seeing this scenario. They still would have been at the mercy of Diamond.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we're not going to be at the mercy of you anymore.
Yeah. We're probably going to see comics in Barnes & Noble, in bookstores and stuff like that.
Let it happen.
More so. And I know a lot of people say, oh, that might hurt the comic shop. And let me tell you this about a comic shop. The good comic shops will be just fine.
Yeah.
They'll find a way. Because they're a good comic shop and they're run by the good people. The comic shops that are bad, those are the ones that are going to fold. And you know what? I could do without bad comic shops. There are bad ones out there. There are the ones that, you know, price gouge and do all this stuff. And
we had a whole segment on it last week.
Yeah. And but the good ones, those loyal customers will stick with that.
Yeah.
Type thing. So, anyway, we'll hit on this later as more information comes out. This is still fairly new. I know some other people have done videos on it and stuff, but really you have to wait until more information comes out. I just don't want to speculate, you know, when we don't have everything on the table, you know, as far as like October, I think is when it starts, the shift's over. Mm-hmm. We'll know everything by then.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely.
All right, so those are our random thoughts with Bob and Bueller. And yeah, we'll talk about Diamond. So there's a few things I just want to go over real quick. Albuquerque, I'm going to New Mexico April 16th through the 19th to visit my daughter. So if you're in New Mexico, Albuquerque area, I will be there. I'm taking one of those days to kind of go travel, see the different shops, run into some friends or whatnot. So let me know if you're around there. I'll be in town hanging out in the nice sun and stuff. I don't know. There's some cool shops. I've been there before, so looking forward to it. Like I said before, there are 20 copies left of the Comics with Bueller exclusive Blowtorch #1. Once they're gone, they're gone. And they'll probably be gone pretty soon, to be totally honest. If you're interested, leave me a email or send me an email. All the information is down below in the comments or description, whatever you need to know. Also, this Thursday, we are doing a comic book of the month. The best comics of the month on Dylan's channel. Mm-hmm. And I'll leave a link to Dylan's channel down below. We do this every month with a group of guys. Bob's there, Robbie from Pop Culture Philosophers, and Dylan. Should be a lot of fun. It's his month. The next one is mine. Yep. I've been waiting, man. This seems like it's been forever. I always enjoy doing that. Yeah. So, but anyway, we got that going on. Now, let's go ahead and jump on over to Bob real fast. Mm-hmm. And do you want to take a few minutes to kind of show a little bit of your coloring artwork that you've done?
Sure. A couple of years ago, I went through a couple of horrific surgeries that put me down for in recovery for about 6 to 8 weeks. And the craze was adult coloring. And I watched a bunch of YouTube videos and found out that I'm actually good at it. And so I got some things that I brought. I strictly use Prismacolor colored pencils. This is the first one that I ever did that really let me know that I could do it very well. And so there's that one.
Slide that back a little bit.
And I don't know if y'all can see that, but it was flowers.
There you go.
You know. Nothing cool yet, but then I started getting into, larger pieces. Here's one that's a complete fantasy setting that I did. Nice. It's kind of hard to see with the glare there, but it's kind of a forested scene.
All right.
And
all right, show one more, just one more, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
So pick good.
All right. I'll show you, Spider-Man #1.
Right.
So I did that particular cover. I did it, homage to it. And again, let's see. Oh, here we go. I put tabs on here so I wouldn't have to. Here we go.
I love this one. This is one that he showed me. Look at that.
So you can see that or not, but
very nice. So the reason I want you to show one is because I'm just going to put you on the spot.
All right.
Eventually, you need to make a video showing these off. Okay. And so we're just going to put it out there. Hey, down the road, take some time, make a video, show these off, take pictures of them. Really nice, present them and stuff. It doesn't have to be next week or whatever it is. But I'll give you until the end of the year.
Okay.
Okay. And then everyone can enjoy the rest of them and stuff like that.
Sure.
I have enjoyed them when you showed them to me and stuff like that. And I know there's probably more that you want to do.
Yeah.
And if I give you a year and you make your own video, then we can talk about it and stuff like that.
There's a piece that Logan Lunkin sent to us last week, and it's a piece I've never done a headshot
you didn't color
before.
It yet, did you?
No.
Okay.
I got to practice on a few things before I get.
Nice.
But I'm looking forward to doing that and sending it back to him.
Very cool.
But it's something that I enjoy.
Yeah.
It's something that I didn't realize that I was ever good at, and I realized through it how much I love color.
Yeah.
And there you go.
It's very awesome. Yeah.
Pretty
I appreciate you showing this.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm putting you on the spot. Now. We're gonna make you do some more work.
Not a problem.
you brought a whole stack of it might take a while.
I've got more too.
Very cool, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I mentioned earlier a giveaway. Let me show you guys what you're gonna win for the giveaway for this. All you gotta do is leave a comment on the video and you're entered. But a little picture will pop up right here and it'll show you the giveaway. In there, there's it's called The Edge. We showed it earlier, the book. You get a copy of the book itself. You get a little action figure also, which is kind of cool. You get a sticker and a keychain and a little note card also. And these were all donated by the creator of this book, the writer of the book. And it's pretty cool. So a nice little care package.
Yeah.
The little figure is pretty cool. I like it. It's like 3 or 4 inches or whatnot. But anyway, nice little giveaway. Courtesy of Second Sight Publishing and the creator of the Edge comic book. So you get the comic book itself, you're getting my copy of the one that I got in Orlando. Orlando. When I was in Florida. So it might be a con exclusive because it only says $2.99 on it. Because the regular cover price is $3.99.
Right.
So I don't know, maybe some special worth a bunch of money down the road. I don't know. But there you go. If you want to be entered to win that, just leave a comment down below, and you are entered. We'll tell you who wins next week. And don't forget to go to the preview video from last week. Enter a comment so you'll be entered to win for that giveaway as well. Brought to you by Bird City Comics. And we're going to be doing more giveaways from them also. I think that's about it.
Very cool.
Anything else going on your end?
No, I mean, I've read my comics this week. I still haven't filmed
That's awesome.
my video.
Well, at least you read them. You were like 2 weeks behind.
I was. But I just kind of been taking things a day at a time, just letting things come. I'll be putting more content out here pretty soon.
There you go.
But I'm not going to press myself right now. I'm still going through some stuff, and
Yeah.
we'll get there.
Yeah. Speaking of pressing, you can send your books to the Rogue Trader. We press them for you.
Absolutely. Our good friend Eric Strubble, the Rogue Trader. There'll be a link down in the description. You can go to his site, and you can use the code Everything20 and get 20% off of that service.
There you go. I think that's all we got for you guys. Thank you so much. This is a really fun episode, getting to talk about the joys of comics, why we enjoy comics as opposed to last week. We enjoyed last week, don't get me wrong, but it was a little like,
It was a downer.
Next week, the topic I wanted to hit on is the comic book current market pricing collectors out of comics. Because
yeah.
it is just exploding right now, and things are going up tremendously, and it is outpricing the average collector.
It's a seller's market right now.
Yeah, so that'd be a nice topic, whether it's next week or the week after.
For sure.
There you go. All right, everyone, that's all we got for you. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Bob, you got it. Go for it.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. You know what to do. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
That was good. I'm getting good at that.
A little bit. What are you going to do, right?
What are you going to do?